Sunnas of the Hajj. 42. The sunnas of the obligatory Hajj are as follows. 1. Taking a full bath. GHUSL or performing ABDEST when entering IHRAM. This washing is solely for the purpose of cleanliness. Therefore, if a woman who is about to enter IHRAM for Hajj is menstruating or in the postnatal period, it is sunnah for her to bathe for the purpose of purification. 2. Performing 2 rak'ahs of prayer with the intention of the sunnah of IHRAM. In the first rak'ah of this prayer, one should recite Surah AL-KAFIRUN, and in the second rak'ah, Surah AL-IKHLAS. 3. Wrapping oneself in a white and clean garment, consisting of 2 pieces for IHRAM. New and white ones are better than washed ones or those of other colors. 4. Applying a pleasant scent such as rose oil before entering IHRAM. 5. Entering IHRAM, recite the TALBIYAH 3 times in a moderate voice every morning, during every prayer, when ascending or descending a slope, and upon encountering every group of travelers. Labbayk, Allahumma Labbayk. 6. After the TALBIYAH, send abundant blessings and peace upon the Prophet. 7. After the blessings and peace, supplicate to Almighty Allah and especially recite the following prayer, meaning, O Allah, I ask of you your pleasure and paradise. I seek refuge in you from your wrath and your fire, according to Imam Muhammad, continuously reciting the same specific prayer dulls the heart sensitivity and is contrary to sincerity. It becomes a habit and is not performed with full awareness. Therefore, everyone should pray in the way they wish. This is recommended. At the same time, it is good too. Recite the prayers transmitted from our Prophet with the intention of seeking blessings. Point 8. To enter Mecca al-Mukarramah, one must perform ablution and enter during daylight hours. Upon seeing the Kaaba, one must offer a prayer, and one must recite the takbir and tawaf in front of the house of Allah. 9. For those coming from outside the miqat, those coming from outside the miqat must perform the qadam tawaf. Those who arrive late and proceed to Arafat without entering Mecca are exempt from this qadam, tawaf, performing tawaf as a supererogatory act from time to time while in Mecca. 11. Men must perform istiba during the visitation tawaf. Before beginning the tawaf, they must take the cloth placed on their shoulder, pass it under their right arm, and then place it over their left shoulder. 12. During the first 3 circuits of the Ziyarat tawaf, men must perform remel, walking in a rhythmic manner by shortening their steps and shrugging their shoulders. This movement is a sign of the pilgrim's strength and vigor. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, performed the tawaf in this manner together with his noble companions during the Umrah pilgrimage they performed as a Makkah pilgrimage. He sought to demonstrate the strength and bravery of the Muslims to the people of Mecca who were watching from across the way and assumed that the noble companions had grown weak. This sunnah of our Prophet is still practiced today. While this remel can be performed during the qadam tawaf, it is more meritorious to perform it during the Ziyarat tawaf. It is not performed during the Seder tawaf. 13. While performing the sea between Safa and Marwa, men should run between the 2 green poles, lights, there and then slow down. This fast-paced walk is called Hervel. 14. On the 7th day of the month of Dhul-Hijjah, after the noon prayer, a takbir sermon is delivered in Mecca to instruct people on the rituals of Hajj Manasik. 15. On the 8th day of Dhul-Hijjah, depart from Mecca for Mina after sunrise and stay in Mina that night. Mina is located within the Haram area. 16. On the 9th day of Zilhijjah, depart from Mina for Arafat after sunrise. At Arafat, the highest ranking Islamic official or person appointed by him leads the combined noon and afternoon prayers at noon. After noon and before prayer, he delivers 2 sermons. He tells the people to stop and wait, perform the standing at Arafat and Muzdalifah for a while, and provides some information regarding the Hajj. 17. Delivering a sermon on the first day of Eid al-Adha and explaining the remaining obligations of the Hajj. With this sermon, A total of 3 sermons have been delivered. 18. To pray earnestly and with supplication during the prayers performed at Arafat and Muzdalifah, and to shed tears or adopt a demeanor as if shedding tears. Offering blessed prayers both for oneself and for one's parents, as well as for all Muslims. Arafat is an area located outside the Haram precinct. If the pilgrims stay there, coincides with Friday, the Friday prayer is not performed. 19. Descend slowly from Arafat after sunset. Upon arriving at Muzdalifah, camp near the Qaza, hill known as Mezar-i-Haram, which is situated slightly higher than the Poli, higher than the Pa valley, to avoid obstructing the flow of people. 20. Stay in Muzdalifah on Eid night and descend to Mina on Eid morning. During the days of NAHR, sacrifice, stay in Mina with all your travel belongings. 21. While throwing stones at Mina, keep Mina on your right and Mecca on your left. Throw stones first at the first pillar, Jamra al-Ula, then at the middle pillar, Jamra al-Wusta, and finally at the Aqaba pillar, Jamra al-Aqaba, throwing the stones from the bottom upward at this last pillar. 22. On the first day, begin the stoning between sunrise and noon. On the other days, begin between noon and sunset. 23. Hurry down from Mina to Mecca. For those who wish, set out before sunset on the 12th day of Dhul Hijjah. Waiting until sunset is a sin. 24. While descending from Mina to Mecca, pause briefly at a flat area known as Muhasab and Ebta. 25. After the farewell tawaf and the 2 rak'ah prayer, drink your fill of Zamzam water while standing and facing the Kaaba, and pour this blessed water over your head and body. 26. Place your chest and face against the area called the Multazim, located between the Black Stone, Hajar al-Aswad, and the door of the Kaaba, and slide along it. 27. To cling to the coverings of the Kaaba and offer prayer without inconveniencing anyone. When it is possible to enter the Kaaba, enter with utmost decency and respect and perform 2 rak'ats of prayer, clinging to the Kaaba's covering and prostrating at the Multazim air, signs of closeness to Allah's mercy. It is a sign of love for the house of God, of earnestly seeking the forgiveness of the exalted Allah and of taking refuge in Him, the Most High. 28. Traveling to Medina al-Munawwirah and visiting the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Those who neglect the Sunnah practices of the Hajj are deprived of their virtue. More precisely, though they may have committed a sign, no penalty such as sacrificing an animal is required. According to the Shafi school, staying in Mina on the night of Arafah is a sunnah. Staying there during the Tazriq festival nights, however, is obligatory.